What's going on, everybody? My name is Tech, and for the last 15 years I was the #1 seller of pre-owned men's clothing on eBay. But today we are in Los Angeles. We're staying at the Wayfarer Hotel, and I'm not quite sure what we're going to get into today. Gary V has sent me a couple tickets over to VCon, so we're going to walk over here and do that. After that, I don't know, but we will find a way to make some money. We will find a way to teach you something, and that is the name of the game here. No matter where I am, that's what we're going to do. And as a lot of you guys know, for 15 years, I worked every single day on eBay, built a beautiful business, have made millions of dollars. I am very, very fortunate now. So now I travel everywhere and do cool stuff and live a beautiful life. So a couple days ago, we were in San Francisco. Check out that video. I did a huge dead stock dig right in the middle of the city. Literally millions of people have walked past that. I found it, made a bunch of money. After that, we went to Anaheim, where we did a mega bolo video. Check that one out. And we've been all types of places. We went to Venice, we went to San Jose, San Francisco, Yosemite, Sequoia National Park. We've kind of done a lot of stuff these last couple of days, which you guys are gonna see over the next couple of weeks. But today we are in Los Angeles again. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I will find a way to make some money, believe that. And if you're interested in learning how to do this, I have a great community that has 2,500 people in it that reoccur every single month. So you know they're in there making money. We have 30 live calls per week. Everything is recorded if you can't attend live. Over 100 live calls per month. And if you join today, you get access to thousands of hours of previous calls in the group. I host the morning call every single day. I answer every single question in the group, and we have niche specific calls for every single niche that you can imagine. Sports cards, jeans, antiques, collectibles, toys, clothing, you name it, we got it. Every single platform, eBay, Amazon, live selling, Poshmark, we got you covered. So let's see what we get in today. Like I said, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do, but I will make it my mission to make some money, teach you something new. Let's go. So the whole Gary V thing, I think, is like very NFT centric, which I know nothing about those. It's very like marketing centric, which I don't know much about, but anything like that can probably help you in some sort of capacity, way, shape, and form. And it's very rah, rah, hoorah, which I don't know, not really my scene, but he gave us some tickets. We're out here. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to see what it's about. They have some cool speakers. A lot of them I don't know who they are. There are a couple of them that I do know who we are. So we're just going to pop in and out throughout the day, use it kind of as a home base. It's right over here by the crypto arena, which is close to the hotel back here. But like I said, maybe we go to Hollywood. Maybe we go see a Dodgers game. Maybe we go to the Santa Monica Pier. I don't know, but you guys are gonna come along. We'll make some money, teach you something new. All right, let's settle the debate. The GOAT, LeBron or Jordan? What do you got? Or Kobe, since we're in Los Angeles.
And it's harder. And when I look back at what's been allowed me to get there, it's been relationships.
All right, so we went inside the Gary V thing for a little bit. He did the kind of like beginner speech. It was only a couple of minutes just to kick things off. They have a bunch of speakers for the rest of the day. We're gonna head to Hollywood, see what that's all about. But one of the good takeaways from his little mini speech for today was balancing passion and practicality. And one of his things is like, you know, follow your passion, but you know, maybe if your passion doesn't pay the bills, then you know, you end up homeless. So I guess when he was talking to people yesterday, one of the biggest things that came up was that people wanted to follow their passion, but they're unable to pay the bills. So I guess you have to find that balance between passion and practicality. So like, we would all love to follow our passions, and for me, my passion isn't 100% selling stuff on eBay, but it is very practical to pay the bills. And you know, we've come a long way with it. When I first started eBay 15 years ago, you know, my son, when he was very young, he didn't even have a bed to sleep in. He had to sleep on a pull-out couch in the living room. And I had a very crazy schedule where I was driving him an hour to school, driving an hour back, driving an hour to school to pick him up, and driving an hour back again. And eBay was the perfect thing because it was able to give me a flexible schedule that I was able to dictate. So it was very practical. And now, you know, built it into a very lovely business that has totally changed our life, the trajectory of our life. And due to investments made with eBay money, you know, has changed the trajectory of his life as well. So, you know, we all have to find that balance, passion and practicality. It's not all follow the passion, but we do have to find what's practical. And for a lot of people, I think that we take for granted how practical eBay is. And I think that that's something that we can't lose sight of. So we need to, of course, follow our passions. And then we also need to have something that's practical. So far here in California, we have maintained all of our windows and have not been broken into yet. However, when we first got to this parking garage, there was glass on the floor on the parking spot that we parked in. But this morning, there is a fresh blunt on the ground. And look at the front of the car. Someone was over here scoping out the cars. And luckily, we passed the test so far. While we're here, got this offer for $110. Santa Claus, Pittsburgh Steelers blockhead. What do you say? Counter or accept? Adios. So over here by the Hollywood Walk of Fame, they have this like huge like Funko store with all of these Funkos in it. You guys still sell Funkos? Funkos were hot for a second, but if any of these corners are dinged or touched a little bit, it's coming back for a refund. There are some very good Funkos out there, but you got to know the right ones. And also, did you know eBay owns a portion of Funkos? So you got to support the home team. I have a Funko's Bolo for you, the Beatles Yellow Submarine limited edition set. That one sells for good money. Mr. 305 all the way out here in Hollywood. Once upon a time, I found a vintage Cypress Hill shirt. Sold for a great amount of money. Be on the lookout for those. If you've sold clothing for any amount of time or vintage for any amount of time, this is one of the most common vintage shirts ever. The one with Elton John. Way before wrap tees were cool, I actually had a vintage Marky Mark shirt with a matching hat. I still have the photo on my Instagram. I sold it for maybe like $100 or $150 for both. Now it's probably worth way more money. There's also some pretty good I Love Lucy shirts, some all over print ones, as well as just some white ones and black ones with the basic print on the front. Those do pretty well. Home Alone Bolo, the Talk Boy, always sells. Harry Carey was a longtime announcer for the Chicago Cubs. A guy actually found this jacket from Ernie Banks at the bins and sold it for thousands of dollars. So you got to know what to look for when you're at the bins. You got to know game use stuff, team issue stuff. If not, you're going to swing and miss and pass by profit. And a couple videos ago, I did this video where I got a bunch of Dwayne Wade shoes, and I showed you exactly how to identify game used basketball shoes. So that way you don't go out there and you don't miss a bunch of money and a bunch of profit as well. Jack Black here, he's also the singer for Tenacious D. Tenacious D has some really good concert shirts as well. Kenan Thompson, all that. Any kind of Nickelodeon shirts in adult sizes from the 90s do fantastic. And then we got Jimi Hendrix right here. Of course, Jimi Hendrix has a bajillion amounts of reprints out there, but the vintage Jimi Hendrix, some of them are on a liquid blue tag. Those do pretty well. At this 7-Eleven, they make you pay for the cup before you fill it up. I can respect it. The best ratio of Slurpee is 75% Coke, 25% cherry, cherry Coke Slurpee. That's the best ratio. What say you? They have horchata Slurpee. Has anyone ever had that before? All right. Every single Dolly Parton shirt that I've had have sold for $300 or more. They're hard to find. I've sold them all the way up to $500. Sometimes for Dolly Parton, you just have to make up your own price, and people eventually do pay for it. Cameron Diaz, the mask shirts, those do good with Jim Carrey. We got Diana Ross. We've hit a good vein right here. You got Sylvester Stallone. You got James Cameron. All the James Cameron movie shirts do very well. I sold some Aerosmith shirts for a pretty penny as well. Any kind of vintage concert shirt is going to do pretty well for you. But you just got to make sure that you know the difference between vintage and not vintage. Here we got Ice Cube. iconic Ice Cube stuff, especially the rap tees, anything NWA and anything script hats, Raiders hats, anything that NWA used to wear, highly desirable. So like reselling, pop culture, fashion, all of that goes hand in hand. So like you gotta be hip, you gotta be up on what's going on. And for like Ice Cube, for example, you know, he makes a lot of family friendly movies now, but once upon a time he was in NWA, and all the stuff that they wore back then, the script hats, any of the Raiders block logo hats, the arch hats, anything from Eazy-E, MC Yellow, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, all of that stuff is super desirable, super in style right now. And if you guys have been watching the videos, I recently picked up a Janis Joplin mosquito head shirt that is worth a pretty penny. So you got to know about Mosquito Head. I did talk about it on this video right here. Definitely check out that one, so that way you can learn all about Mosquito Head, what to look for. Because if you pass on the Mosquito Head shirt, you will sell that thing in 1 second, and someone's going to come up and someone's going to snipe you. And I've had a few Mosquito Head shirts in my day. I had the Marilyn Monroe, I've had the MLK, I've had the Bob Marley, the Janis Joplin, Malcolm X. I've had a good few of them, and you can find them for cheap because people don't know what they are, and they all sell for $500 minimum. Vintage Batman shirts, of course, do very well. You'll be hard pressed to find one with Adam West on it, but any of like the Michael Keaton ones, the Batman Returns ones, they even have some Wizard of Oz nice shirts that sell great. Got Arnold over here. Speaking of Marilyn Monroe, the first Mosquito Head shirt that I ever got was Marilyn Monroe. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Marilyn Monroe mosquito head to sell. Even the vintage Marilyn Monroe shirts sell good. There goes Arsenio Hall. Ozzy Osbourne. They had some ridiculous Ozzy Osbourne shirts. The raglan ones do well. You got to learn what a raglan is, and you got to learn the tags because they have a lot of reprints of this stuff. And you got to learn the tags. You can go right to the Google machine and type in all vintage Hain tags. It's going to give you the breakdown of what year and what they look like. Please, everyone do it. That's your homework for today. Shout out to Mel and Hers Diner, back from Burnout from Australia. She hosts the YouTube and social media call in the group with James Bold Fine. So we cover everything for reselling. We cover YouTube. Those guys are great on YouTube. But shout out Mel. She got a diner all the way over here in Hollywood. I've had this home improvement shirt before a couple times as well. So speaking of Dr. Dre, he's got some great rap tees. The Chronic one sells great. And then we've got his partner in crime, Snoop Dogg, right up the street. He's got some good shirts, even some of the more recent ones from 2003, which is now considered vintage. It is a reprint of the Dogfather shirt. Of course, the originals are worth much more, but if you can find any Snoop shirt, any rap tee with a little bit of age from the 2000s, those still do pretty well. Have you guys ever heard the Weird Al Yankovic eBay song? That's a classic. Check it out. All right, so they have a Marshalls out here in Hollywood. Let's just take a gander and see. Do they have the high-end stuff at the Hollywood Marshalls, or is it the same just like all of us? Can you do better retail arbitrage at Hollywood Marshalls? Let's find out. Do they have Gucci and Louis Vuitton at the Hollywood Marshalls for all these big shots? Or is it Peter Millar and the such, the same like it is for everybody else? The big clearance event. Last time I went into Marshalls, they had some Peter Millar and they had some Grayson, which was surprising. So anytime a brand ends up at Marshalls, you got to be a little bit cautious because that's when it starts to hit the floor. So I was a little bit surprised to see Grayson. They did have some opportunities though. When we came here to the last Marshalls down by my house, the Peter Millars that they did have were the skull print, and you could still actually make money on them because the skull print ones, I think they were selling for $29.99, and pre-owned they were still going for $50. So there's opportunities. You just got to know what to get inside of each and every one. And a lot of people will say, like, you know, Peter Millar is saturated. It is, but the skull print actually does sell. And if you go and you refine left-hand navigation, Peter Millar Summer Comfort with geometric prints, those still have 100% sell-through. So some Peter Millar is saturated. If you think you're going to go out and buy the beige one-color cotton Peter Millar shirt, ain't going to sell. If you have the geometric Peter Millar Summer Comforts, those still have a 100% sell-through. So it's all about what you get. Let's see what we can find in here. All right, guys. So they have Grace in here for $14.99. It might be time to jump off the Grayson ship, my friends. If they're selling it over here for $14.99 brand new, that ship might have sailed. But you can definitely make money here. Look, brand new Johnny O, $7. This shirt will definitely sell on eBay for more than $7. So you can for sure make some money. Here's a Grayson. It's $21. Nice dragon print. And on eBay, they got it for $79, $64, $76. So like you can make money, but you do have to be aware of like race to the bottom. It's a bell curve with retail arbitrage where, you know, if you can get it in the beginning, you can make money while not a lot of people have it. When a lot of people get it, you know, the price usually comes down, classic supply and demand. But if you hold out to the end, if you don't get in and get out, then you can make money in the end as well. But here's a Peter Millar, $15. Regular price, $110. Skull. Can make money on this one as well. So like I said, here's the same one, $55, and here's the same one, $59, $59, $63. So you can make money over here for sure. So you see inside here in Marshall's, I already knew what they were gonna have, and I already knew what we can make money on because I've already done all this stuff. So you got to come in here, you got to study, you have to learn, and you have to know all the rules to the game before you come in. It makes life a lot easier if you could do your homework beforehand and you already know what you're looking for. So even all the way down in Florida, they have the same stuff, same prices. They were a little cheaper here, actually. And you just come here and you just clean it out. You just make money, you go to the next store. But like I said, you have to be a little bit cautious on your retail arbitrage because it's a bell curve. In the middle, it gets saturated. You got to get in first, get out first, or hold, get out last. Get out last, wait for your money, and then sell after that. And the reason you have to get in and get out is because they have the same exact shirts by my house as they do all the way over here in Hollywood, California. So that stuff is going to get saturated, but we have to know this so that way we can understand how much we can pay at the thrifts for a Peter Millar skull shirt. Because in new condition, the price is going to come down, which is going to force pre-owned condition down. So we can't be out here spending $15 for a Peter Millar skull shirt when it's over here selling for $15 brand new. Just you gotta research, and you gotta keep all this stuff in mind. You gotta know what brands are at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross, because the price is gonna come down on all of that stuff, and we have to know. Again, with the cartoon tees, the bigger, the louder, the more vibrant, the more all over the print is, the more money you're gonna get for them. The Bruce Lee button-up shirts do well. Also, there's a brand named Dragonfly where they make like some anime ones and some cartoon ones, even some motorcycle ones. They're like polyester. Those ones do very well. Anything vintage Michael Jackson, of course, is gonna do well, whether it's the hats, the vintage t-shirts, huge market. This is the most popular square so far that we've seen by far. Tommy Lee Jones, Men in Black. They have some great Men in Black shirts, vintage shirts that sell for good money as well. There's Queen Latifah. There's Mickey Mouse. They got some great Mickey Mouse shirts. We've talked about those before on my Bolo videos, best Bolo videos of all time. We have a Disney World edition and also a Disneyland edition. Check those out. There are thousands of Bolos for you to see. Bolo, the Row. Huge money for the Row, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen's clothing line. We've got like all these carts over here selling stuff, but this right here, this Nike Jordan store display, that's worth good money right here. So when you see those at the flea market, I've sold Nike light up signs for great money, and I've also sold some neon signs too, but this Jordan store display, that's worth good money. Don't pass those up at the flea market. Got The Rock wrap tees sell good. Also any of the vintage WWE stuff. The Pee Wee Herman toys, there's definitely Bolos for that one, so be on the lookout for anything from the 80s, especially the Pee Wee Herman toys. All right, so this is Navessa Records in the middle of Hollywood. They got a rack of mostly reprints, but I paid $21.90 for this Ghostface Killer Supreme Clientele shirt. Ghostface Killer on the front, Supreme Clientele on the back. I'll show you a better picture in a moment. Hand knit, made in USA, 20 bucks. Can easily sell this in my brick and mortar store. And that right there is how it's done. And here's a couple more Wu-Tang Clan Bolos. Of course, the vintage wrap tees, the black ones with like the yellow, green, red kind of like graphic on them. Those sell great, of course. The Wu-Tang 36 Chamber shirt sells great. The Raekwon purple tape. I also looked in there, they didn't have it, but I tried to catch them slipping on the purple tape. You never know. And then the Raekwon Ralph Lauren Snow Beach jacket. Very, very valuable. So a lot of the stuff with pop culture, music, it's all intertwined. And we got to know this stuff. So here we are. So in San Francisco, they had the car that drove you around, no driver. In Hollywood, they got the food that drives around, no person. Adios. Steve Irwin, toys and shirts, cult following for our friend down under. 50 Cent, I got a Purple brand shirt, probably hard to find in search just due to the nature of the brand. Purple brand, very, very, very hot. I found this shirt at the flea market and he was actually wearing it. It sells for great money. And if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I find that vintage Pepsi Seinfeld Kramer shirt, dead stock for $1 at the flea market. Pre-owned goes for $500. The dead stock one is easily worth $600 easy. This shirt is out there too. Any vintage Titanic shirt, the black ones sell more for the white, but I've sold both just fine. And not a lot of people know about this bolo for Tupac. Any of the Karl Kani stuff that either Tupac or Biggie wore goes for humongous money. One of the most famous ones is the green Karl Kani pants. It has like a Karl Kani logo on the back pocket. Huge money in that. They usually have like a metal patch on it. So don't pass up on vintage Karl Kani. That stuff sells really good. That is a not so obvious Tupac Shakur bolo. And if you would like to learn how to sell online, sell on eBay, I have a great community of over 2,500 people that reoccur every single month. So you know they're in there making money. We have 30 live calls per week. Everything is recorded if you can't attend live. We have over 100 calls per month, hundreds of hours of content per month. We have thousands of hours of previous content where if you signed up today, you get access to that and the entire history of the group. Even if you know everything about eBay, we have a great community. It's positive, it's productive. It's all the way from beginner levels to some of the top highest sellers on the entire platform are inside of the group. So I host a morning call every single day. I answer every single question in the Facebook group myself. I don't okie doke anything. It is the most comprehensive amount of resources about reselling anywhere on the internet. But I appreciate everybody for hanging in with us today. I hope these bolos were helpful. I hope this little mini adventure was helpful. It's only a half day. We still got the rest of the day to rock and roll. There's the Hollywood sign. Beautiful weather out here. Thank you, everybody. Be great.